Gilda Carle. Dr. Gilda, another amazing topic today. You just always are researching
I
things, and
know.
that's where I get my news sometimes.
I know, Neil. Well, this one is particularly near and dear to my heart because, I teach MBA courses at a university here in Arizona, and everything is online. And so words count a lot. And my students are supposed to be up on current events. Many of my students, they're all adults, and many of them are doctors, MDs, lawyers, PhDs. I mean, they have advanced degrees, but the MBA is a good, solid business credential that they want to get under their belt. They want to add that to all of their other titles. So many of them have these advanced credentials. Some of them do not, and they're just not out of college. They have had years of work experience. Some of them are moms of a lot of kids, and they're coming back to school after having had a big career, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, they all come from different walks of life, but they're all mature. Now, you believe, as do I, that we have to keep up with what's going on in the world. I think it's a responsibility of us as being living, breathing individuals on this planet to know what's going on. There's a lot of politics involved everywhere. Everywhere you turn, there's a political bent to something. There's all these stories about fraud. There's all these stories about what's going to happen with CBS and the takeover of that and how they're going to make it. There are so many interesting stories around that may not seem to impact a physician, for example, who has an MD. But rest assured, everything impacts everything else. Even if this is not your field, it impacts you somehow. So I was talking to a couple of people recently, and they were saying they can't sleep. Sleeplessness is a big problem in our culture, especially with a lot of the type A's that I hang around with. They are, ha, ha, ha. Oh, we're always going, all of us. So we all came to sitting down and talking about this. And I said, well, what do you do at night? What do you watch on TV? Is that what you do? Do you read a book? And everybody from my crowd said they always watch the news and then go to sleep.
Ooh.
That's right. Exactly. Exactly. Your response, it was exactly my response. It was, oh no. A physician friend of mine said to me, I could never understand why I was always waking up angry. Well, what do you expect? Of course, you'll wake up angry. So, getting back to my MBA students, one student thought that it was proper and a good idea to write down that when she goes to her next job interview, she's going to tell the interviewer how important DEI is. Audience, you have to see Neil's face. You have to see Neil's face. So I said, DEI is out of favor now. Are you aware? She said, no.
Oh my gosh. She's right, an
So here I
MBA.
am. Okay, okay, thank you. So this is my point to all of this. This is an MBA student. I told my students, I don't care what else you are doing, you must keep current with the news. You must. Don't think just because you have a credential now, and credentials are more important than they were last year because DEI is out of favor and we're looking towards more meritocracy. We're looking at the hiring people are looking at credentials and experience and know-how. So you go into a job and you say, well, I always uphold the DEI all around my company. Guess where you will go? Your resume is going to go in the trash can because you have just told the person who's interviewing you that you know nothing about what's going on in the world. So I caution everybody to keep current with what is going on. If you're looking for a job, great. If you're not looking for a job, even when you're having conversation with people at work, people at home, people on the playground where you're watching your kids, people in the supermarket, anybody, you must be current. But particularly if you are getting an advanced degree and you're getting it quickly, and you are soon going to be looking to reestablish yourself with more clout. You must demonstrate that you have kept up with the times. Now, one caution to all of you. Keep in mind, you don't want to watch the news right before bedtime.
No,
Neil is
I
laughing.
think it's the talking points, but I think it's also in the fact of the matter. The MBA students better be thinking entrepreneur versus working for somebody else because they're looking at these mid management positions as things that they don't want to hire anymore unless you're an A player. This is an interesting conversation. They talked
Well,
about
this is
A versus B versus C players. If
This
you're,
is
and go ahead.
very interesting that you're saying that because a lot of my students do work for a company by day and have entrepreneurial ventures by night. So they're running themselves ragged. And if I tell them, but you also have to keep up with the current events, they say, wait a minute, I only have so much time. Well, guess what? I don't know about you, Neil, but when I was getting my PhD, I was working during the day. I was teaching during the night. I was getting my PhD. I was teaching dance classes in the evenings, some evenings. I never stopped.
Yeah, if you're
And
young, you can do that.
when, yeah, well, I was young. I was very, very
Yeah.
young. And as obviously, when you get older, you slow down a bit and you decide, well, I don't want to do A and B and C anymore. I'll just do A. Well, that's not enough. If I'm a type A, then I'm going to do A and B. But and then you choose what is right for you. But keep in mind, everybody out there must keep current with the times, but don't do it before bedtime because it'll ruin your sleep and you'll wake up angry because of the news that you saw. Be careful, be judicious about what you watch before bedtime, but make sure you are on top of your game when you go out to speak to anybody,
And
right?
that's yes. And for another topic is how can these MBAs now become A players where they can lead by example, can do everything on their own, and they don't need the extra upper management to work with them. This is the big thing everyone's looking for. Go getters that figure it out for themselves, hire people who are A players and are
Well,
not intimidated. That's what's going to have to happen.
this is really an interesting conversation, and you may want to do a couple of shorts on this one because what you said is so true. You know what? You all thought that getting a good job and doing well at that and moving up the totem pole was the way to go. We were all taught that. And yet, if you are one of those people who's on the side doing this, that, and the other thing to make some additional money, if you are looking towards entrepreneurship eventually, whatever you are doing, don't think that there's a period at the end of the sentence and that's the end for you. There is going to be a time when maybe you'll want to sell donuts. Maybe you want to sell coffee. Who knows what you will decide to do? But as time goes on, you do change the things that are important to you. And you change your tastes and you change your desires. But you must always have that drive continuing within you. However, in that drive, you just be sure to inculcate the signs of the times. into whatever you know. Years ago, some people thought that being woke was the way to go. Now, woke is a joke. I wrote this book, Real Men Don't Go Woke. It's selling very, very well. And the reason is that woke is another word out, out of the companies, just like DEI, another word people don't want to hear about. And there was recently an uprising. This is another, perhaps another segment, Neil. There was a recent uprising at CBS. Barry Weiss, who I've quoted in my book, who's absolutely genius, has taken over as the news director for CBS. CBS was just like ABC, NBC, and CBS, the three of them were on the side of the leftist media, and that was the news that was delivered, and everybody accepted it. However, we have a different administration now, and it's not so well accepted. This is not to say that tomorrow or in 5 years from now, it won't be something else. But I am saying right now, watching the interpersonal dynamics at CBS is extremely interesting because Barry Weiss said that we're doing things this way. And she was going to release a 60-minute segment, and that segment last minute was pulled from the air. She said it wasn't prepared properly, not enough. The old guard of the network took took umbrage at that, and some of them came out fighting. What is that called in corporate America? Insubordination. And they could have, may still, or maybe in the future, could be fired.
Wow.
To go against a new president, and every new president has different ideas from the old. I mean, this is what new
Yeah.
administrations do. They kick out the old, they usher in the new.
Mm-hmm.
So Barry Weiss is doing something that the other major national networks have not done. And the people in her company have to catch up. Will they? If they don't, she might have every bit of clout to say adios to you. And suddenly, these people who have been longtime reporters are going to be out on the street if they don't watch their step. It is the person in charge who makes the decisions. So if you, I mean, and now I'm talking about, and this was just a case that we were talking about in the MBA program that I'm in. So it's very fresh in my mind. And some of the students knew about this, and it's a headlining business problem.
Right.
When you have a group of people who are the old guard and they're challenging the new guard.
Yeah.
This is a business problem. So some of the students knew about this, and some of my students had never heard about this.
Okay.
Who do you think you would hire, Neil? Who do you think
The one that has the most knowledge is going to be the one you hire.
the
And
most
if I
knowledge? They
when
don't
I
have
go
to-
through and my company grows to a point where we're looking at, I'm focusing on A players. A players already are prepared, ready to go. I remember when I was hiring tutors, I hired A players. One's more intelligent than me, but I had the luxury in the education business to do that. I did not. It's a little bit harder in the corporate world. So when you get to that point, you want people that are even smarter than you are in
Yes.
the room, not people who are not, because it's going to be
But
so much management and that's it.
But because the world is changing so quickly, they have got to have knowledge of what is happening all
Yes.
around them.
They're
Because
not watching
all
news.
around them,
Yeah.
all around them is impacting who they are today working for you, Neil.
Exactly. Okay. That you go to drgilda.com, and that was the special simulcast of the Neil Haley Show, the GildaGram Podcast.